What's up, guys? My name's Sean, and if you landed here, you're watching Scar My Guitar. You know, the number one question that I get all the time is, how hard is it to make a guitar? I'm just going to be straight up with you. If I can do it, you surely can. So here's my top 5 reasons you should make your own guitar. My number one reason right here is because you're not going to get something like this off the wall at Guitar Center. You're just not. This has got a pine back. That's spalted flame maple. You see that? 1/4 inch top. You're not gonna get that off the wall at Sam Ash or Guitar Center or wherever you go to get your guitars. You're gonna be able to customize it exactly how you want. You're gonna get the scale you want, the fret size you want. Everything's gonna be what you want. You'll have complete control over what happens. Now, number 2 is gonna be my personal favorite, because number 2 is you can make something off the wall. You can create something brand new. You can make whatever you want. You don't have to go by somebody else's diagram. You can get creative and do things the way you want to do them. You can take your time and figure it out as you go along. Number 3 is pretty simple. It's just for the learning experience. It's so you can actually start learning about guitars and how they're made. You're going to learn about different wood species. You're going to learn about different tools. You're going to learn how to use routers and drills and sanders and things like that if you never have. How many times have you wished you could repair your own guitar? That intonation acting up on that Strat you got or Telly? That Les Paul won't stay in tune? All you got to do is start learning how to make guitars, and you'll learn how to fix all that stuff along the way. Number 4 is a good one too. You're going to start collecting a bunch of tools. Yeah, you probably think I'm crazy because right now you might not even have a battery-powered drill of your own. But I promise you, here's what's going to happen. You're going to make a few guitars, and one of them's going to come out really cool. And then your buddy's going to see it, and he's going to say, hey man, you think you could make me one? And you're going to make him one. What do you think you're going to do with that extra money? You and me both know what you're going to do with it. You're going to buy that tool you needed last time that you didn't have. That's how my whole shop got started. I started with absolutely nothing. And I'm not kidding you, I didn't have 2 screwdrivers when I started making guitars. Number 5 is definitely the best, because number 5 is the gratification you're going to get when you see the end result. Now, it doesn't matter what you make, whether it's just a neck or a body or whatever, but when you look at it yourself when it's done, I promise you, you're going to swell with pride. Whether it's great or not, you're still going to love it and be proud of yourself. It's true, everything that I just said. So why aren't you making your own guitar? And if there's any reason you can think of why you should be making your own guitar, and you're not, leave it in the comments. And don't save money, because it's very cheap to get started. I can literally make a guitar body with just this router and just this jigsaw. If you'd like to see how that's done, leave me a comment. All right, we got the top 5 out of the way. It's time to stop ripping and rapping and dipping and dapping. Let's make it happen. Man, check out this wood right here. It's called leopard wood. It's pretty cool, huh? Blows my mind how it looks. But we're gonna put these flame maple inlays in here. They got a little bit of chocolate in them too. Now this is a bass body for old Nick B. Oh, the old Nick B. But right now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to mount the neck a little bit differently than I ever have before. Before we can do that, we got to make the neck. But before we make the neck, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to mount the neck in through the back. Now I'm thinking it could probably go something little like this. You see the little hand right there? Pay attention. This is the back of the bass body right here. We'll have the neck pocket will be on the back side here, and then the fretboard will go all the way through to the front of the guitar. We're gonna have to make that heel pretty big, right? Well, let's go on to make the neck, and then we'll make a template for this so we can get it in the right place on the body. I don't trust the CNC to do that. So we gotta mark the fret slots real quick. I ain't gonna put you through that agony though. Alright, I got the fret slots marked. And if you remember, I said this was a 27.5-inch scale. It's going to be a short scale bass. So we got to go back to the old trusty radial arm saw. Now I know you guys don't want to watch me cut fret slots, so I'll take you in here and we'll stain the body. let's look at it in a couple different lightings. This is in some poor lighting. You know what I mean? Super poor lighting here. That's why you can barely see Hammy. There he is. Now let's look at it out here. I'm loving it. Now that's just an initial stain. I'm going to stain it again after the neck pocket is in the back. But let's go finish up the neck. I got the fret slots cut, and man, they're looking good. The thing I love most about that radial arm saw is how precise you can do things. But let's get that cut out. We'll put it on the piece of maple I got here. I already got the truss rod cavity done. All I got to do is cut it out, glue it on there. Oh yeah, now that's what we want right there. Right there, that's what we want. But look, I got an idea. I think I'm going to mount the neck in by hand. So let's use this fretboard and try something real quick. Look, right here, right now, I'm going to give you a prime example of you don't have to go off anybody else's diagram. You see what I'm doing here? That's where my fretboard's going to want to come out of the top of the body at. So I'm just going to center it real good right there. I'm going to clamp her on down a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit of a clamp. Just enough to hold it in place. Not even going to affect anything. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to adhere to anybody else's rules. We're going to mount this thing in through the back. It's going to be sick. Now, I got this little centerline tool here. Got this from my local hardware store called Rockler. It's a wood store, hardware store. But it's going to enable us to center that fretboard perfectly. And that's going to look pretty to me. So I'm going to clamp this down a little tighter so it don't move. Now I'm just going to trace my fretboard out on the body. That's what I need to route out right there. Like I said, we're going to do it by hand. But I want to show you something else. We're not just building this bass, we're building a couple other guitars too. It's really hard to see with that ebony, isn't it? Yes, you are. That's for my buddy Mike right here. But check this out. We're going to make a zebra wood fretboard for this. We'll let that run on the CNC real quick while we work on the bass neck. We're going to cut the fret slots too on this. See how it comes out. Alright, it's lunchtime. Wow, that fretboard came out killer, man. Pretty proud of the CNC right now. Yeah, I am. But that brings me back to you can, bend the rules a little. Not have to do what anybody else is doing. Do what you want to do. Certainly bending the rules here. Which brings me to another little project I'm working on while we let some glue dry. And that other subject, it revolves around what I just found at the wood store. So after talking to my buddy Richard, we were talking about hollow body guitars. You know, the one, the 335, that kind of guy. Jazz guitars, But what if we took this big giant slab of mahogany, one solid piece, and hollowed it out like we do the acoustic, but left a big block in it for a bridge, for an electric, for string through the body. And then they put a top on it like the acoustic too. You know what I mean? What do you say, not really? Alright, let me show you. Now, I got it paused real quick. But that's what I was talking about right there. You see the block? And then the top's just going to go right on there. And then we'll route it for humbuckers and all that stuff. Now see, I was talking about something like that. An old ham champ. He loves the smell of wood, I don't know why. He'll sit there and sniff on it as long as I leave it there for him. Now I'm just going to put a quick little 1/4 inch down there. Now I think that guy ain't coming off of there now. Alright guys, as always, you know I appreciate you watching. Make sure you tune in next time because I got a lot of guitars that I'm going to be finishing. That bass is going to be sick. Wait till you see how I put that neck pocket in the back. We got a couple of more acoustic guitars coming up, and don't forget the hollow body guitar me and Richard are working on. It's going to be totally awesome. But we're going to jam those guys out in the next video. So make sure you hit that notification bell if that's something you want to see. And I got some great news. Big D Guitars, you know Derek over there, he contacted me. I think he's fixing to send me a sweet little piece to finish, and then I'm going to send it back to him. He's going to give it to one of you guys. So if you get a minute, go over to his last video. Tell him you can't wait to see it. There's a link in the description to his last video. Make sure you subscribe too. And like I always say guys, till next time, don't you touch my Scar guitar.